Well, there's another piece of plywood in the back of the truck, so it must be time to build something. And I'm not 100% sure what I'm building here, but I need to get the exhaust from the diesel heater out of the back of the truck. The diesel heater I have can't be left out in the weather. So I'm gonna put one portal on it right now to get the exhaust out, and I'm gonna do another portal in the future when I have more time, maybe later in the video. I don't know, it depends on how this all works out, where I can get the heat in. So I can have the heater in the truck blowing exhaust out, or I can have the heater out of the truck on good weather days blowing heat in. So again, like I always say, the secret to getting ahead is getting started. So I am going to get started on this and figure out how it goes. Let me show you what my idea is. And then you guys can object down in the comments below, and if I don't hear anything before the video is over with, I'm going with my idea. So these windows, the wind doors on the side, they have windows in them that slide open to allow cross ventilation on both sides. But there's a plastic screen there, and I think the heat's gonna be too much to melt that, so I can't put a real small, simple insert in there and call it good enough. That would be fantastic. So I'm thinking a piece of plywood here, riding this channel somehow, and maybe it's actually just gonna ride right up here in front of the channel instead of down inside the channel, because I've got that wire there to worry about. Ride the channel up, and then close the lid down, and the plywood would actually come up right inside here. So when I'm inside, I can reach up and pull that down shut, and then there will be a piece of plywood from here down to here that's gonna hold it all taken care of. And then for the spot around the outside, first off, I don't need to completely seal this. My heater is gonna put out so much heat that I'm actually gonna need to shed heat. What I'm trying to do is get the exhaust out. So around the outside of the plywood, I've got pool noodle stuff. I'll cut a slit in it, I'll put it right across the top of the plywood, the sides and the bottom, and that'll hold everything in place. So I kinda know the side distances, but I'm gonna need to fumble the cuts until everything fits in with the pool noodle and everything else, because there's no real exact measurement here. And then here is the little thru-hull deal that I'm going to be using. The exhaust pipe from the diesel heater will connect right here. Instead of going onto the muffler, it'll connect right to this. And I might put the muffler inside the truck, or I might just skip it. And then this will be what you see on the outside, and you can see there's a little separation there to prevent burning the piece of plywood. And this is all stainless steel, so it'll handle the elements. And then I think what I can do in the future is take this piece here and drill a hole this size and shove this through and feed it into the tube. And then I can go in the other direction in on the days when I know it's not gonna rain. And of course, if I measure this one way or the other, I am wasting a lot of material. I measured that the wrong direction. And I'm in an RV park, and I live in an RV, so I don't have a full-on wood shop. So we just gotta kind of make do with what we're doing here. 64 gets me the width, and then it gives me 4 foot of height to play with because it's a 4x8 sheet of plywood. And pretty soon it'll be a 4x5 foot 4-inch sheet of plywood. I don't know, let's keep going. I got a piece of this unistrut left over from a previous project I was doing. This makes a fantastic straight edge if you don't have one handy. And of course I don't have one handy. And this plywood is bowed in this direction here, which is making this really hard. So rearrange. I really need a new tape measure. We're there. Go around the other side. 64 there. Yep, I think that's the end of that tape measure. But I've got more than one. So we're good. Okay, now I can make this mark. Done. All right, when you're at an RV park cutting wood, don't cut the picnic table. I'm gonna do this from both sides because I don't have a sawhorse or a helper. Perfect. So I didn't think about it, but it is 64 inches to here, not 64 inches to here. So I need to cut back the wood in order to clear these straps. But the pool noodle will take up all that extra space anyway, so we're good. So this is the part where I just cut all that mistaken cutting measurement stuff out and say, look, worked right on the first try. So that slides right in between those two straps. Easy enough. And then up. And like right there. Okay. What do you guys think? Does that look good? So you guys can't even see it. The bottom is off camera, but if we take the top and we measure it up into that pocket, that's gonna be 22.5, right up to the bottom of the lid. And then same thing over here. Now I have this toolbox on here to add some counterbalance to stop this from falling off the table. Perfect. Let's see how this fits. Tilt it up into place. I can reach it easy enough. Clears the tailgate straps. Gonna get the, I'm at an awkward angle here. Right on my fingers is how it closes. Oh, that's not bad at all. Maybe a skosh more off, but we'll find out in a minute. Let's let it lean out a bit and catch. Perfect. There we go. All right, so we got a little bit of an air gap over here. We have not a horrible seal considering how little seal I actually need. Another bit of an air gap there, and then it's gonna ride right along underneath the truck cap lid there. Time to wrap it with pool noodles. Give it that extra insulation, which may mean I need to cut it a little bit smaller to fit. So here we go. All right, pool noodles. And don't tell my wife I took her fancy crafting scissors, but hey, this is crafting, right? It has rained the past couple of days here, which makes it really cold here, which makes all this stuff wet because I was storing these outside. Why not store the pool noodles outside, right? Okay. So step number one is to cut all the way down the length of this. Oh, super easy. I don't know if that would be any easier with a razor knife or not, maybe. All right, I like to experiment, so I tried it, and this is so much easier with a knife. Done. Beautiful. Slide this right out. Oh, thought for a second I left the camera on the plywood. There we go. Once you figure out the trick, it goes on nice and easy. Lots of friction. I should probably cut a 45 in the end here so that I can meet the corners. I don't know that it matters that much. And I got plenty of spare, so we'll just do it straight for now. Whatever happened to southern Arizona being for snowbirds? These things are wet, which then makes my hands wet. And then this stupid wind makes everything freezing cold. And I'm just complaining because you guys are listening. Got to get the job done, and we can get inside and turn the heat on. Yeah, 45s might have been better. Oh well, good enough. All right, here we go with the moment of truth. I got it kind of stuffed in there pretty good. Rah. Reach up and pull that down. And it's too tall. I mean, nothing I can't fix, but because of how tall it is, it creates this gap by opening up. I always stumble on the name for this. Opening up the rear window. So I can lower this thing down, and crap, I can lower it down by almost a full pool noodle there. But overall, not too bad. So what I need to do is kind of inch up on it. So what I'll do is I'll take 2 inches off, try again, take another 2 inches off, try again, and I'll show you what it's done, what it looks like. Kind of like I have my own back deck. I made one cut, it looks pretty good. I have the sides off just because I didn't feel like putting them back on. But even with the sides off, that gap isn't even that bad. But check this out. So bringing it right up to the tailgate. Nice good insulated line there. And if we look, this is up underneath of the window here. And then there is very little gap. There's, very little. There is a little, but very little. All the way around. Not bad. Let's take a look from the inside. So this is sticking in from the outside of the truck through the wind door. Not bad at all. There's that very little gap. I think that's going to be fine. And I could probably just make a little adjustment and fill that in just fine. All right, time for the thru-hull, H-U-L-L, thru-hull fitting for, I always say hull, H-O-L-E, but it is H-U-L-L. It's time for the thru-hull fitting for the heater to do the exhaust. And when the time comes, when the weather's going to be a little bit better, I'll do it in the other direction when I can put the heater on the outside and blow the hot air in and have the exhaust just on the outside. Oh, and I know you guys are furiously typing away in the comment section down below. Why didn't you use pressure-treated plywood? Well, I got two reasons for you. One, this was 25 bucks versus the cost of pressure-treated plywood. And two, my hardware store didn't have pressure-treated plywood. So I wanted to get this job done today. And I figure this isn't going to be directly contacting the ground. Getting it a little wet is fine. It'll dry. It'll be fine. And I'm not planning on camping in violent storms. So $25. And I've got leftover plywood for something else. Fitting. Center. Let's find the center. 62.25 by 21 is what it wound up being. Let's do 31 1/8. And 10.5. There's my center mark. Hole saw. All done. A little bit of blowout on the backside. I should have come at it both angles, but oh well. So this is pretty cool. I don't have to worry about that blowout. It actually comes with a little finishing plate for the inside. If I can get it out of the bag. Just tear the bag, who cares? Not like I'm reselling any product on the side. Really? Don't lose that. Okay, don't lose that. There we go. All right, so that's going to be the inner plate, kind of raw metal. And then we have 2 gaskets. That'll keep it weatherproof, if this was actually a weatherproof type seal, but this is not a weatherproof type seal. That's going to look really good. All right, drill bits. Let's figure out what size we need. Probably going to be too big. Yep, too big. Whoa! Don't drop the camera. All right, that's perfect. And I ain't making furniture, so I don't care what the inside or outside looks like. Like that. And that. Put the bolts through. Switch over to the drill motor. Switch over from the drill motor to the impact gun. And then just for finishing's sake, that's what it looks like on the inside. So the thru-hull on the outside, gasket, wood, gasket, finishing plate on the inside, and some nuts and bolts. All right, out with the old muffler. Right onto the new thru-hull fitting. Strength. I crinkled up the metal there. Not that it needs to go all the way down, but why not? Reattach this back to the heater itself. Got her all plugged into the Power Queen lithium iron phosphate battery, and we're ready to go. So power on. And we'll come back and see how warm this thing is in like an hour or so, I guess. And I even have this window open here. I think it's going to be plenty hot. It's 40, was it 45 degrees last time I checked? Oh, it's up to 50 now. 50 degrees now. We'll be back. Oh yeah, and that gap that was right there, all I did to fix that was put the side pieces in and that gap tightened right up. But everything's going to move all the time and it's just fine. And then there is the business end. She's clicking on the inside. I can hear a little bit of exhaust out here. That's fine so far. I think at 50 degrees outside, I'd probably have enough body heat to keep it warm. But this is also almost 2 p.m. in the afternoon right now. So it would have been cold all night long and all morning long. Let's take a look at that battery. I have the Power Queen battery app here, and I want to see what kind of current it's drawing. Yeah, we're pulling somewhere between 1 and 2 amps out of the battery. And then just for grins, take my thermometer. So it's actually 67.6, but that might be a little bit of body heat because I had it, yeah, it's going down. 65, 65.1, because I had it right here in my pocket up against my hot little chest. Let's go see what it's temperature-wise in the back of the truck right now. I guess we can start out with the exhaust. So we're at 57.8, 56.9, and still kind of going down. The exhaust is 350, 380. Wow, it's climbing. And I'm actually touching the metal exactly, directly, 500 degrees on the exhaust. And over temp. We're recovering, so we'll let it cool down a bit. It's taking its time to calm down. And I don't know how accurate this thing's gonna be at the wild range ends of the spectrum. It's a cooking thermometer, down to 103. I think it just can't even go down low enough, fast enough. Yep, to give it a couple more seconds to cool down. It says 59, 58, still dropping, but it should be warmer inside. So let's open her up. Well, it's not bad. Put it up here at the ceiling area. She's climbing. Oh, that'll do nicely. Yeah, I mean, 68, 69, that's good sleeping temperature right there. Beautiful. So I'd have to turn it off right about now. All right, that's what she looks like all done. And I am, I don't know, 20 feet away, 15 feet away, and that's the sound you hear. Not bad. Kind of sounds about the same as a hot water heater does. So I know you guys are already thinking of a couple of questions, and please leave them down in the description below. I haven't thought of everything. I'm just putting this together at an RV park in the middle of nowhere so I can go out into even more of the middle of nowhere and do some camping. Some answers I have for you already. Number one, where am I gonna put that thing when I am not truck camping mode? Well, it's gonna lay flat and I can put it under the bike in the back of the truck. If you haven't seen the original video on this, the concept is that I want to take my motorcycle out for a day trip, might last a little bit longer, camp overnight if it's good, ride the next day if the area is really nice, and then head back from remote camp to base camp. I'm a full-time RVer, so there's a lot of compromises involved. I can't go full all out, full tilt build on this because I've got weight constraints with having a 36-foot travel trailer attached to the back of the truck. Number two, what am I gonna do about carbon monoxide or gas leaks or anything like that? I have this carbon monoxide gas leak detector thing that I used in a video before. I don't think there's gonna be enough carbon monoxide to worry about. It's already almost 70 in the back of the truck camper, and it's only been 15, 20 minutes of trying to get it to warm up. I'm gonna have windows open. I'm gonna have cross ventilation. That is an 8 kilowatt diesel heater. It is more powerful in terms of heat than I can live with. It does not have a thermostat. This is answer number 3, hopefully. It does not have a thermostat built in. I can build one, I can get another one, I can sell this one, I can upgrade. You know, you gotta start somewhere and learn as you go, which was the same thing as cutting the wood. I had no idea what the final dimensions would be, so I just kind of crept up on it until it was right, and it looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty happy with it. I already told you why I didn't go with marine grade plywood or pressure treated plywood, because Thor didn't have it. And I think we're ready to try a night in this. Oh, going to the bathroom in the middle of the night. We're men of a certain age, or women of a certain age if you're coming along with me. Thanks for joining me on the journey. But remember from the previous video, I also have that composting toilet. I'll be able to use that in the middle of the night without leaving the without leaving the heat and warmth and sanctity of the truck camper, and without letting a whole lot of that heat that I just went through all that trouble to put in there out. And then for any serious business, I can always take the commode, the composting toilet, outside and use it outside. So I'm gonna have to spend the night in it and then report back to you. But I've got to go to Quartzsite, Arizona for a week for some work there. And if you're in Quartzsite, look me up. I'll have the white truck and the yellow motorcycle and be having a lot of fun. I will leave links in the description down below for some of the parts that thru-hull fitting, not thru-hull fitting, the various tools and whatnot that I used, and you can get the plywood at your local lumber store. Pool noodles are seasonal. Couldn't get those. You might be able to do pipe insulation, but otherwise I've got a video right over here I think you might enjoy next. Thanks for watching. I'll see you over there.